A construction crew was repairing a road under the cover of night. Suddenly, a figure approached from ahead. He mysteriously told the two men that at the end of the path, someone had done something terrible. The two men carried a lantern to the end of the path. There, they indeed discovered a horrific scene. The case was immediately sent to the Behavioral Analysis Unit. It turned out that just 5 days earlier, the Yamada family in Kansas had gone missing from their home. The 3 bodies discovered by the road workers last night were the parents and their daughter. The youngest son, Scott, is still missing. The murder weapon was an unregistered 9mm handgun. The gun had the father John's fingerprints on it, and there were gunshot residue on his hands. It seemed like John took his family out, then shot his wife and daughter before killing himself, but all of this seemed highly unreasonable. Additionally, Reed discovered that the forensic report indicated John's watch was on his right hand, suggesting he was likely left-handed. This implies someone fabricated evidence to frame him as the killer. Furthermore, local police investigations revealed the Yamada couple had no marital issues and were not unemployed. There were no obvious reasons for them to commit suicide, and their son was likely the primary cause. At this point, Aaron received another message from the police. The Ackland family, who lived in the suburbs of Kansas, had also gone missing. The composition of the family was identical to that of the Yamada family. However, the father of this family had recently been involved in a fraud lawsuit. The police speculated that he might have disappeared voluntarily. The analysis team immediately rushed to Kansas. The record showed that the two families were very similar. However, according to the data in the database, the two families had no connection. Scott, the missing son of the Dan family, was introverted. Breton from the Ackling family had recently been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. This similarity between the two children might be why the killer chose them. The analysis team conducted separate investigations at both houses. In Scott's room, they found traces of broken windows, indicating that the killer entered through the window and first targeted the younger son, Scott. He resisted, causing his toys to scatter on the floor. Rosie and Morgan, at the Acklands' home, discovered a shattered coffee cup in the kitchen, suggesting they were taken by surprise. However, subduing the entire family would not have been easy for the killer. Considering the crime scenes at both locations, the killer likely first targeted the youngest child, then controlled the father, who posed the greatest threat. The killer forced the father and daughter to wear hoods, then had the mother tie them up. They finally made the son, Brayden, tie up his mother, and since the house was far from the neighbors, almost no cries for help could be heard. This was how the killer successfully carried out the crime. At that moment, on the other side, 2 construction workers discovered a body near the construction site. After forensic examination, it was confirmed that the deceased was the missing boy, Scott. The forensic examination confirmed that Scott had not been sexually assaulted, so the killer did not fit the profile of a sexual predator. Furthermore, the body was wrapped very neatly, indicating that the killer had a certain degree of concern or sympathy for the boy. Perhaps Scott had some kind of emotional connection with the killer, but Reed believed that maybe they were both wrong. The killer's target might have been other members of the family, and Scott was just a tool to control them. Perhaps, as Reed speculated, the father in the family had a special meaning to the killer. At this point, Garcia made a discovery. 2 families, at different times last year, had visited a vacation camp outside Topeka. The Yamada family went in April, and the Akron family went in July. The killer likely encountered both families there. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Akron family was locked in a remote cabin, unable to escape no matter how hard they tried. The wife began complaining about her husband, when suddenly a beautiful woman appeared in the living room mirror. She was Vanessa, their son Brayden's tutor. Why was Vanessa here too? The killer told the father to tell his wife who Vanessa really was. Just as he hesitated, the killer shot and killed Vanessa. After killing Vanessa, the killer reminded them again that only by telling the truth would they have a chance to survive. If Mike didn't tell the truth, the next victim would be their son, Brayden. With no other choice, Mike revealed the truth. He had indeed had an affair with Vanessa, but their relationship had completely ended. Clearly, the killer had brought them here for more reasons than that.